Yeah. From kids to elders, every age, diabetes moves through every stage. But you got power day by day to keep your numbers in a healthier way. Know your numbers, that's the key. Check your sugar, A1C, healthy habits, daily moves, small steps make your body groove. Choose whole foods, build your plate. Wellness play tips help regulate. Medicare plus pharmacy on your side, guiding Belize with care and pride. Medicare plus pharmacy, caring through every life stage. Yes to prevention, yes to control. Know your numbers. Oh, fight diabetes with knowledge and power. Medicare plus pharmacy, here to help you.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Learning Dose. My name is Rolando Umania, and today I'll be your co-host. Joining us today is our esteemed partner, Ms. Jolene. And later on, joining us will be Ms. Jemima Paquil, a fifth-year intern, and Ms. Rosa Hernandez. So today we're going to be talking about antibiotics, and as the flu season is here in Belize, and we just survived our record-breaking cold front.
Yes.
We want to bust some myths relating to antibiotics, as they are very powerful medications. So today we're going to start off by the first myth, and that is, if antibiotics don't work, let's just use a stronger one.
Oh, hi, Rolando.
Hello.
It's good to see you guys back again. And it's true, that cold front was really, really brutal. But we're here, we survived, and we didn't need to use antibiotics. Well, I hope we didn't, right? Because as you know, when you're having a cold or a flu, it's generally a virus. So do we use antibiotics there?
No.
No, we don't. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. To try explain the difference between antibiotics misuse and what happens when we misuse it, right? So yes, the cold. What happens is, if you get the cold, you might say, I need something that's super strong because I feel terrible. But in reality, we don't need antibiotics. We need to rest, hydrate, because it's a virus. And that powerful medicine, that antibiotic, is not going to work on a virus because they're not the same thing, right? That's if you're using insecticide, for example, to get rid of lizards. Not going to work. No. So you need something else. You need rest. And for viruses, that's what we recommend, is to rest, hydrate, take your immune boosters so that they could help build you up so your immune system does the job, right?
Yes.
Okay, so no antibiotics for viral infections. Yeah. And it's not that I want to say antibiotics use is wrong. Stronger doesn't mean better. We want to aim at getting the right medication for the right infection. Think about it as like you're using a paint roller to paint your nails. I mean, that's an overkill, right? You don't need to do that, because with antibiotics, you have to use a specific one and for the specific duration. Stronger could also mean more side effects, and it's more expensive. And you're also exposing the bacteria to the way this antibiotic works, and that could be a problem for the future. And when you're doing that, you create resistance within the young, especially the babies, the elderly, and patients who need life-saving treatments later on. So always think about antibiotic as a precision tool, not a big power tool that you just go for the strongest and that's it. No, we want to be as specific as possible. And if you're not sure, talk to your pharmacist when you pick up your prescription. They walk you through it. And if you're still not sure, talk to them again.
And time for myth number 2. And wow, this is a big one here. So myth number 2 is, if I start to feel better, can I stop my antibiotics early?
No, please don't. Please finish the course. It's important that you finish the course, because when you don't, you know what happens? The weaker bacteria, you get rid of them. But the stronger ones, they get smarter. And then they stay there, and then they would just teach the other bacteria that would come how to fight that antibiotic. So please don't stop your course of antibiotic. It doesn't matter if you're 3 days, 4 days into the course, complete it so that you get rid of everything. Remember, we need that powerful antibiotic to do its job. And the rule is, if you give you your antibiotic for 7 days, do the 7 days. Exactly the way the pharmacist told you. And don't think about saving pills. I know some people try to say, oh, for the next time. No, we want to get rid of everything so that there's not a next time. Right?
So you had mentioned that the weakest bacteria die and the strongest ones survive. We had recently had an antimicrobial resistance presentations by the 4 years, and they had spoken about antimicrobial resistance.
Yep.
Is that how that contributes?
Oh yes, definitely. The weaker ones die first, and then the stronger ones, they stay, they get stronger, they multiply, and the infection is actually harder to treat the next time. And that's really and truly the essence behind microbial resistance. And incomplete antibiotic treatments, the course, when they don't finish it in time, that's one of the greatest contributors to microbial resistance in Belize. So that's something that we really need to work on, ensuring we finish the course, ensuring that even if you're feeling better, you finish it. Because we don't want to save pills, like I said before. We don't want the bacteria to get stronger, because that's what we can't afford. We want to protect everyone, or young or old. So finish the course regardless. Don't train those bacteria to get stronger.
Yeah. So now you know, guys, you must complete and finish your course.
Yeah.
So moving on into what happens when you actually have the flu. And this is where I could put input here. And I want to shout out Miss Dr. Bevans and Miss Patricia Lopez, my HAP teachers and pathology teachers.
Yes.
So they covered the immune system, and in the immune system they have the innate and the adaptive immune system. And in the innate, this is responsible for fever, for inflammation, involves your mast cells, your neutrophils, your macrophages, and all of that.
Wow.
And this response happens usually within a couple of hours. But my favorite is the adaptive. And this involves, your plasma cells, your antibodies, and your T cells. And this takes some time, as the body, I like to think the body as, we go to the gym, we train, but the body also trains.
Yes.
So this picks up on the antigens, and, it eventually trains it, and, it produces specific antibodies for those antigens. And of course, this takes a couple times, but the body also has memory. So if we face the same antigen and same pathogen again,
or bacteria,
it's able to fight it even faster.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's exactly what our immune system is there for, right?
Yes.
I have to say thank God for giving us that blessing, because that allows us to learn to use the right tools to treat infections. Plus, our body also tries to do it on its own. Develop the fever, it tells you, hey, something's happening. Then you realize, okay, I don't feel too good. What I need to do? What do? If it's a viral infection, like you said earlier, allow your immune system to kick in. Use that muscle memory we have and help you get over that viral infection. So rest, hydrate, and all the other good stuff.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the body can handle it. So we don't necessarily need to jump to give medication. The body is a powerful machine, a powerful
Yes,
system, that
yes.
it can deal with it on its
Yeah.
own.
Even when you're small, you might say, man, my baby have a fever, you have a cold, or all of that is what's building that immune system. So hydrate, take your right supplements, get your rest, eat well. All of that's going to help build you up so that your body, your immune system can take charge and get you well.
So moving on to the next myth, and this is something that I've personally seen, doing my volunteer hours.
Okay.
And it's that certain people go to the pharmacy and they ask for antibiotics and the pharmacist doesn't give them. So this other myth is that pharmacists don't want to give antibiotics just because they want to be difficult.
Oh, wow. I will try not to take this one personal, right? But honestly, it's not true that the pharmacist does not want to give you the antibiotic. It's not entirely false either. Remember that antibiotics are prescription medication. So if, for example, maybe you've seen them come in and maybe they had the flu and it feels like, okay, this will last too long, I have to get one antibiotic. Then coming into the pharmacy, we'll have to go through a couple questions. Let's see if it is in fact that you're having an infection. If it's so, remember, antibiotics are prescription medication. You have to go to your doctor to be properly evaluated. Why is that? So that he can choose the right antibiotic for that infection. So even though you might say we don't want to, it's because we have to be responsible. Remember, as pharmacists, we are the gatekeepers of very important and powerful medications. So we can't just allow you to take it and you know what could happen then. It creates more resistance. Sometimes it might be that when you come, we have to decide you're not in need of an antibiotic. You probably need more comfort care. And what's comfort care? You need rest. You need hydration. You need maybe some bone broth. Remember they say chicken soup is good for the soul?
Yes.
Maybe you just need some of that. And especially in this day and age where, like for example, I know a couple customers that have come and said, rest. The doctor give me this medication and 5 days off. I can't take no time off. Workaholics get sick and they get sick a lot. So I always say you need to take time for your body to recover. Give it the right nutrients. Give it the time to recover because even that is healing and you might not need the antibiotic. And that could be the first step as opposed to going to the prescription antibiotics. But let me explain that again. Pharmacists, we're not just being difficult. We're being caregivers and we want you to get better. And with you getting better, the community gets better and that does not create that resistance. All right?
So I see that we have some antibiotics here.
Yes, and normally I see these things being used by a lot of people. Sometimes they think they want it for sore throat, they want it for a little flu, but I don't think that works that way. So we have with us our colleague Jemima. So, hi Jemima.
Hi.
What can you tell us about these medications?
Okay, so many of us grew up thinking that antibiotics can work or cure anything. However, that is not true. Antibiotics do not work for viruses. Why is this? Certain antibiotics, like the amoxicillin, are beta-lactams, and so they work by destroying the bacterial cell wall. So viruses don't have a cell wall, hence the reason these would not work on it. Sometimes we have certain symptoms, like that sore throat. We can use the throat comfort tea instead, which provides relief and soothes that aching, or we could try a spray like this one. This is made with propolis, which is a natural ingredient which helps to soothe inflammation, and honey, which we all know works to relieve the sore throat.
So we had a nice discussion about what you can do to treat the sore throat symptoms. So what else can we do to treat the other symptoms, such as your fever, your cough, and your blocked nose?
Okay, so whenever you start with the flu, some of the first symptoms you notice is that body ache. And like you rightly mentioned earlier, that's your immune system kicking into gear because it's trying to build up the antibodies so that it could fight the virus. Usually that just means that you need to get some rest. Resting a couple hours after maybe you've gotten some Tylenol. If you're an adult, Tylenol tablets. But if you have children, it's always best you get the dosage from your pharmacist because it's important that we do weight dosing. So depending on the weight of the child, then we'll calculate it so that they get the exact amount and not anything extra. Other than that, we would recommend something natural. You could do the good old faithful honey, maybe a little garlic. Some people add lime or the Vicks. Everybody loves to use their Vicks, right?
Yes.
And that helps with the congestion because the menthol and the eucalyptus actually opens up the airways. So you breathe better. It soothes the throat. The honey would soothe. We also have, for example, here at the pharmacy, we carry a wide range of natural supplements to help boost you. Zinc, vitamin C. We also have eucalyptus herbs that you could boil, brew a tea. We have mullein, which is good for the inflammation of the lungs to help you clear up any mucus. It all depends on the symptoms, but we always recommend try doing it naturally. It's safer. Give your body what it needs to help fight it on its own. That helps for a better immune system.
Yes. So you had mentioned about supplements, but what about probiotics?
Oh yes, I love talking about probiotics because for me it's that hidden gem that we overlook. Probiotics are the good bacteria that's in our digestive system. They help a lot in ensuring that the nutrients we're getting from the food, our immune system, our skin as well helps for glowing skin. And one of the things that happens when we take antibiotics inappropriately or when it's not necessary is they will completely annihilate your gut bacteria. And that's a problem because that leaves you now vulnerable to so much more infections that could come about. So taking your probiotics if you're feeling ill, if there's others around the room that are sick, take your probiotics. They would help. Start maybe something, even if it's just trying to get some yogurt in, sugar-free preferably. Or you can buy the supplements that come with prebiotic and probiotic to boost you up. And this will also help if you're having maybe a stomach upset. Those are all helpful. Hi, Rosa.
Hey, Miss
Welcome,
Jo.
welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank God.
Yeah.
I was gonna be here a little earlier, but if you notice my sticker here, I was
Yes.
out donating blood.
Hero of the day, guys. Yay.
I show on maybe.
Right. So this morning, you were able to donate.
Yes, ma'am. And I honestly believe it's a wonderful thing to donate blood. There are many people who need it, so
Yes.
you might as well just try it.
Yeah. And every month here at Medicare Plus Pharmacy, we host a blood drive. So if you're ever in the area and you're willing and able to, please stop by, bring your ID, and let's see if you can donate because one donation actually saves up to 3 lives.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you too. I appreciate it. So just picking up from where Rolando left off, you guys were talking about antimicrobials. One pressing question that I've had for most of my life basically is what is the government doing about AMR specifically in Belize? Because I know last semester we had what was a antimicrobial resistance day or week whereby we explained antimicrobial resistance, and I believe you were there as well
Yes,
at
yes.
UB.
At UB, yes.
Right. So what can you tell us about the government system? What are they doing in regards to AMR in Belize?
Well, thanks for the question. I actually have notes because I believe it's something that I really want us to touch on because, you know, antimicrobial resistance isn't just an issue here in Belize, it's global. So through the Ministry of Health and Wellness, they participate in many initiatives and different organizations like World Health Organization and PAHO, and normally focus on strengthening surveillance, tracking resistant infections through the laboratory, improving infection prevention and controls in hospitals, teaching and talking to students and everyone about hand washing, promoting responsible antibiotic use. That's working with the community pharmacists, reminding us to ensure that we communicate clearly with patients so that they can remember how important it is to finish that course. Supporting other laboratory facilities to detect resistant strains, educating healthcare professionals, because AMR isn't just a hospital issue, it's really truly a One Health issue. And that One Health focuses on human health, animal health, and agriculture. So these policies aim to improve prescribing practice, regulate antibiotic access, and promote stewardship across all healthcare sectors. Because the truth is, we know the government alone cannot do it. It will fall on us as the professionals, as the community, how antibiotics are prescribed, how they're dispensed, and how they use it at home. So as pharmacists, or even doctors, nurses, or even you, our viewers, this is where you come in. You need to as well be responsible for your antibiotic use, because today, taking the antibiotic properly today would actually help us in the future.
Right. And taking it back to what you mentioned, the incorporation of PAHO, they were actually at the event as well, or they were collaborators in this event as well.
And that's why they're trying to do as much publication and communication with the community. It's important.
And I like that you mentioned community, because it's everybody's business. Everybody has to collaborate in this, in the healthcare professional, not only pharmacists, not only doctors. Every single body has to be stewards of antibiotics. So I like that.
Even the pharmacy students.
Yes, ma'am. Shifting gears now, in Belize, people, when they hear antimicrobial resistance or antibiotic resistance, they think hospital setting. Not so much so, right? Because I know we do have that agricultural aspect, and like I shared earlier, there's a booth at the antimicrobial resistance event that we held last semester. One of the booths tied into one of our current classes right now, which is veterinary pharmacy.
Okay.
We learned that in cattle, in raising cattle, basically, poultry, chicken, they use antibiotics because these are investments. I mean, you want to take care of your animals. One of them get an infection, you want
to treat it, right?
So antibiotics are used in agriculture, and we have this understanding that the use of these antibiotics in the animals could lead to any type of resistance developing, which makes me think now to those people who love the steak lovers, undercooked meat and so forth.
Yeah. We have a few among us, so be careful.
Could you tell us more about the use of antibiotics in agriculture?
Okay, so it's true. It does pose a little problem because when it's overused, when it's misused, right? There's a right time and place and the right conditions. Right time if there's an infection, conditions if the doctor, or in that case the vet, has prescribed it. And even in animals, it must be used for the full course, right? Because that overuse and misuse can still lead to bacterial resistance in the animal. And like you rightly said, consuming that meat uncooked, or I know in some cases I've heard that they actually find the antibiotic still, and then they would consume it. Or if the animal passes away and it seeps into the ground, into a waterbed, it's still a form of exposure to us, or water, wherever. If you're in the river and you're there, if you drink water from the river, it's also an extra form of exposure. So we have to consider it, because it all falls into that One Health connection, like what the government and the different organizations are trying to sensitize us to, that we have to consider the water, the meat, the soil, or the direct contact, and what implications it would have on our health. So, like for us in Belize, where agriculture plays a major role in our economy and food supply, this is something very important for us to consider. The resistance from the farming community can still seep into us here in the pharmacy what we're exposed to, because how do I know what's happening there?
Right.
So we all in each sector have to be very, very closely monitoring the misuse of antibiotics.
Yes. So you guys heard it. Not only in the hospital setting, it can happen in agriculture as well. Whereby it seep into the meat, you have water, soil, direct contact.
It's not only the pharmacy counter, it can happen as well at home or in the farms.
Right.
So we want to manage it very carefully. Follow all the rules and protocols set out by BAHA so that we can do the right thing there, and we'll do the rest over here.
Okay, so jumping into our next myth buster, this is only a first world problem. So that only Belize. Is true?
To be honest with you, we both know that's not true.
Exactly.
Because that's something AMR, antimicrobial resistance, is something that global leaders are talking about. You could literally say that antimicrobial resistance is not just a medical issue, it's a leadership issue as well. One person that comes to mind when I think about it on this world stage is President Mia Mottley. Oh, she has spoken strongly against AMRs and the impact it's having on Caribbean states, especially when those antibiotics stop working, right? Because it's very costly and it exposes our small communities, right? And think about it. When you think about platforms such as CARICOM and the United Nations, those leaders represent us. And they're looking at what they can do to bring awareness to the situation in these small states concerning strong antibiotic stewardship, better surveillance, just like they're doing here in Belize, responsible use in agriculture, and global funding to support us here, because we need that assistance.
Right.
So you might ask yourself, but we don't have to worry about it. We do.
We do.
We want to look after our population, and we want to ensure that we respect the effect that it would have, and we respect our borders, respect the other countries, because we don't really know what they are facing in those countries. But if we're all working together collectively in the country, collectively as a region, Central America and CARICOM, we could do so much more for our people. And like I said, it's not a Belize issue. It's not a Central America issue or a CARICOM issue. It's a global issue. And we have many leaders that are actually taking that proactive approach globally.
And onto your mention of leadership, I want to just big up somebody I know, vet pharmacy teacher, very excellent lecturer, I must say, Mr. Yusuf Abubakar. Thank you so much. We appreciate his work.
Yes.
Not only in veterinary pharmacy, but also in pharmacology 3, where we're learning currently about the different antibiotics.
He was one of my lecturers and did excellent too. I'll always say I'm here because of those excellent teachers that you teach. They're excellent. Yeah, Rosa, so thinking about it a little more, I definitely want to add emphasis to the fact that just as you guys are learning right now in pharmacology, that antibiotics are made specifically, designed specifically to treat bacteria. So if it's a viral infection, it won't work. If it's bacterial, the correct antibiotic is what matters. And taking it for the correct duration is what matters. And I wrote down in my notes too that if we continue practicing this way, the right way, that's going to be better for us all. Because if you consider that babies, newborn babies we have to consider them. Their immune system hasn't gotten a chance to toughen up yet.
Right.
So when we take these antibiotics incorrectly, we're exposing all these vulnerable groups, unfortunately. So we have to, newborn babies, the elderly, patients who truly need life-saving treatments, or even like diabetic foot care. You know, these diabetics need antibiotics to treat the bacteria, but we can't continue misusing it because it will come back at us. Not now, down the line for sure. And that's why it's important that we start looking at it holistically. You know, what can I do what am I expected to do when I get an antibiotic treatment? Because individually we do have a responsibility, but as a community, because every time we have to report these findings to CARICOM, to World Health Organization, or to PAHO, they need to make the right assessment. And from that, then they will come back and say, you know what, we're finding there's a resistance for this type of antibiotic in that area. And you know what that does to us? It puts us at great risk.
Right.
And that's the problem, that's the concern. Because when these antibiotics fail, surgeries become riskier. And simple, like a childbirth, it becomes riskier because of this resistance to the bacteria, to the antibiotic. Simple infections then become more dangerous. So it's not just a Belize problem. It's not just, oh, my neighbor around the street kind of problem. All of us, we need to be more proactive and take control, because it's a Caribbean issue. It's a global issue. And we want to be doing what we're supposed to do now, because the truth is, the antibiotic is to protect us now, but if we don't have it later on, then what? It will actually become more expensive too.
Right.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. And on to your point about reporting, these numbers and these statistics to leaders, to organizations, BAHA, Ministry of Health in the Caribbean as well. We do have somebody who works with the Ministry of Health here in Belize. One of my personal teachers, Mr. Engelbert Emmanuel,
Mine too.
taught me
Yes,
biostatistics.
Mr. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So shout out to him as well.
Yes,
Because
we see the relevance.
Right. And
Appreciate his class.
right. If we don't report the numbers correctly, then what would become of us in Belize here?
It will cost us more and endangers pretty much a simple infection, a simple broken foot. You know, you'd be in there and end up having to be on the most expensive antibiotic and the ones with the stronger side effects too.
Right.
So we want to avoid that.
All right, guys. So we're about to close this episode, but before doing so, we had to pull in one of our baddest of the baddest, teacher of the teachers name, Miss Rondine Reynolds.
Representing UB in person. Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good afternoon. Really impromptu move.
But we're glad you're here. Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Miss. So, important things we touched today. Antimicrobial resistance, a very needed topic here. If there's anything that you learned today, this is exactly what I want you to know. Antibiotics are powerful, yes, but they are not magic.
Right. That's true. They treat bacteria, not viruses. And they must be taken exactly as prescribed. And they should never be shared, never be saved for a next course. And really and truly, you should never stop it early. Complete the course as recommended by your pharmacist.
And from an education standpoint, AMR isn't something in the distance. It's not far away. It's not across the seas. It's not international. It's right here. It's local. It's in Belize. It affects us all. Humans, the livestock, all of our animals that provide food for meat, and our beloved pets that we all have at home. Antimicrobials treat specific organisms. It's very, very essential that you seek the consultation with your medical provider and get counseling, proper counseling that is, not street advice, from your pharmacist.
Right.
We don't charge for consultation,
No.
so you could pop into any pharmacist anywhere in this beautiful country of ours, and they will gladly greet you with a smile, I'm sure, and counsel you and remind you and refresh the do's and the don'ts of your medication.
Right.
As we're talking about antimicrobials, be sure to take them, as my beautiful colleague over the side says, only when prescribed and precisely as prescribed.
Yeah.
When day 3 and day 4 hits, not because you feel better, you stop. Don't save it, don't share it.
Yes.
And on to Mrs. Point, when antibiotics stop working, simple infection becomes serious. So
Yes.
have to make sure that we take Miss advice as she stated.
All right, guys. But you know what? There's still good news, and we have to be thankful. We have to be grateful, and we have to remember that we're always given the chance to rectify. So let's look at the hopeful part behind this discussion today, that every decision we makes a difference. So we want to make sure that you understand that we're here as pharmacists, as pharmacy students, pharmacists to be, to answer your questions. Follow the instructions. If you're unsure, ask us. We're here for you. And you want to ensure that you establish a relationship with a trusted pharmacist. Find someone that you can relate to and seek their advice. Talk to them about microbial resistance, about hormonal contraceptives, whatever it be. Establish a relationship with them and have them be a part of your healthcare team. As Ms. Rondine said, we don't charge consultations, but we love what we do, and I'm sure that there'll be a pharmacist. If not at Medicare Plus, you'll find one too in any other pharmacy that would be glad to help. So please don't hesitate. We're here to ensure that you take the right medication, the right way, and for the right conditions.
All right, guys. So I want to say thank you so much to Ms. Jolene. Thanks to Ms. Reynolds, who we had here as well. Mr. Rolando Omania for being here in this podcast today. This partnership means a lot to us. It's very valuable, especially since Ms. Jo has what is called a blood donation drive here going on at Medicare Plus Pharmacy, facilitated by Mr. Guerra and Mr. Valdez from Western Regional Hospital. So shout out to them as well and thanking them as well. You guys are encouraged to go ahead at the Western Regional Hospital to donate blood, guys. You can also do it here at Medicare Plus Pharmacy. The drive happens every month here, so feel free. It's right across from the bus terminal here in Belmopan. And remember that giving blood can save up to 3 lives, okay? I want you guys to also mark down your calendars because something exciting is coming up. The UB Natural and Pharmaceutical Products Expo that the pharmacy program holds every year. This year it will be on April 9th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Belmopan campus. The 4th year students are going to be there with their developed products, so you guys don't want to miss it. You have local businesses as well which you can support and learn about. In terms of this video, you can find out more about the information in the description. So go ahead in the description, find out about the Natural Products Expo. You can also find important information in regards to becoming a pharmacy student or becoming a part of the next generation of pharmacy students. So all the UB information will be there in the description as well. I want to encourage you guys to like, subscribe, all right? Share this channel, turn on your notifications, because this is something that we use to reach individuals here in Belize and beyond. So go ahead, you can follow our social media pages. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, so don't feel shy, share our pages. And with all things happening, I want to remind you guys that God has provided in every aspect in everything that we have done. Remember Philippians 4:13, through God everything is possible. With Christ we can do all things. He strengthens us to do those. So use your talents, guys. Not only for the good of everybody around us, because I mean you use your talents for the antimicrobial resistance as well. But we want to be kind and tender-hearted to one another. This is the season and this is the month of love. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys, and thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing.
Good afternoon. Hi.
Hello.
I have an itchy cough and my throat they itch.
I actually talked to a neighbor, and for a cough, he recommended me getting this, and he thought let me help you.
By 3 azithromycin.
Do you have a prescription?
No, sir.
Okay. Because it is an antibiotic, by law it requires a prescription.
Okay.
And what you would need to do is to go to the doctor, they're going to get some tests, they're going to confirm whether or not you have a bacterial infection, and they're going to determine if you need this or not.
Alright.
But if you are having symptoms like a sore throat, we can try the hot tea, or we can try the spray made with propolis and honey.
Which one you want to do?
This could work.